Good morning, everybody. We're going to make lasagna today. It's a really good homemade lasagna, and I just know you're going to love it. And I'm going to make a little salad with it, and you probably won't see that part because the video would be too long, but I'm going to make a little salad with it, and I'm going to make a jug of tea, a gallon of tea. I'm choosing the Y'all Sweet Tea, the decaf today. I've already got my water all hot right here, and I'm fixing to pop her in. And I'm going to put a thing over it, let it sit for 9 minutes, and we're going to start our lasagna. And so today I've got this big black pot that I am going to fry my meat and stuff in. You're supposed to have two. Goodness, this thing is, I'm going to have to move this pot. I can't have two big pots on the same eye, can I? Let me move this out of the way. Oh, that's heavy. There we go. We'll turn that one on. We'll fry our meat in this one. And put our tea back there for 9 minutes. Anyway, it takes 2 pounds of ground chuck. And so that's what I've got. 2 pounds of ground chuck. Y'all listen. Y'all Sweet Tea had a wonderful thing to happen to them. I'm sure you saw it. They were on Shark Tank. Can you believe it? I'm so excited for them, and they all did a great job on there. All of them did. I was really happy for them, and they are going places. That's for sure. They're going places, and so they had a good product. Hey, good products pay off. I've been using Y'all Sweet Tea for a long time. And I get mine up in a local store, but a lot of y'all couldn't get it. But now that they've done this, maybe you could just get it without ordering. I can't get the ones that are like the peach and stuff like that. They just have the regular, this kind, and the caffeinated in my store. But I have to order the others, you know. But anyway, at least I've got this. So anyway, congratulations, Y'all Sweet Tea. And I am going to get this lasagna going. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. And the first thing we're going to do is fry our meat. And chop it up a little bit. We're going to make our lasagna in this size pan. I think this is a 9 by 13 or something like that. And you're only going to need 12 of these lasagna noodles. Only 12 of them. That's all you need, y'all. And it's a 3-layer lasagna. So the reason you need just 12 is this. I'm going to put, if your pan's a little bit shorter than this, you could just need 9. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 3 in a row, and then I'm going to cut one lasagna noodle up to go right there. And with 3 layers, that'll make 12. So that's what I'm going to do. I did not salt my water over here. I got it boiling, and I'm going to put my lasagna noodles in this boiler. Let them be boiling. And then I'm going to put them in a colander and drain them off real good. If they start sticking together, I'm going to put just a tad of oil in there, and it'll separate them. But I'm going to let those boil now while we're doing our meat over here. And for those of you who have my last cookbook, Live Each Little Moment, y'all, it's in there. It's in there. So I was going to show it to you. This is what I'm making today for you, right here. I made it lots of times, but that's it. Let me see if I use the same pan. No, I used the metal pan that day, the one with the green around it that y'all have seen before. That's the one I used that day. But here's the good thing about lasagna here at Thanksgiving time. You can make this up ahead of time, okay? And go ahead and, build it and everything. Cover it, put it in the refrigerator. Then when your company comes, get it out, let it just sit out on the cabinet for a few hours to let it get room temperature. Then put it in your oven on 350 to bake. You haven't messed up your kitchen. Everything will be great. And so you'll have a night, you could do a little salad if you wanted to, or some little Italian bread. But and tea, And other than that, you ain't got to do a thing. So it is a really good make-ahead dish. Or if you're going to have company, just some neighbors to come over, lasagna is always a hit. So let's let our meat brown, and we're going to get out our other ingredients and get started. I forgot to tell you this too. It's on page 97. So if you're cooking it with me, you want to get on page 97, okay? See my cute little family back there? Have y'all bought your book? You need to. I'm telling you, it's a good one. It's a good one. Got a lot of good stuff in it. No use going through life without a book, that's for sure. All right, so y'all, our noodles are boiling. I'm going to cut up one big onion to go in our lasagna, and I'm going to saute that in with that hamburger meat, not ground chuck that's over there. Now, if you want to use the hamburger meat, it's all right. It's just that hamburger meat has a lot more grease in it. Y'all, it's chilly here this morning in Andalusia, Alabama, so I've got on a sweater dress. I thought that would feel good for today. I love onions. Oh, I do love them. Let me move that out of the way. Get you down a little bit. Okay. The sun is shining. It is beautiful outside. I am excited about it. If y'all never made homemade lasagna, and some people think, oh, I can't do that, it's too hard. It really isn't. It's actually very easy. If you can chop up an onion and put some hamburger meat on to fry and cook a little noodles, well, you got it made. I'll show you what spices go in it in just a little bit, okay? We want to get our meat browned, and it's cooking now. I always like to put my meat on just a little bit before it gets completely brown. And that'd be a good thing. So what's going on with y'all today? What are you cooking for lunch today, or supper, or whatever? You people up in the north, my northern people, I know it's cold up there. So I know lasagna would be a great little meal for your family when they come in tonight, to have a big old lasagna fixed. And I promise you, they'll probably eat that whole casserole of that stuff. And too, if there's some left over, y'all, that's good too. It heats up really easy, the leftover. So it's not like anything's gonna be wasted. So how many of you've got company coming in for Thanksgiving or Christmas? And they're gonna stay like a bunch of days. If you do, then this is a great dish for you to get your book out, go right by the recipe, take your time, turn you on some Christmas music, and make your lasagna. Put it in the refrigerator after it cools. Put it in the refrigerator, and you've got your meal. When they come, all you do is just get it out. I mean, it's just as simple as that. My mother never made homemade lasagna. The only time we got lasagna is when we went out somewhere to an Italian restaurant, which is few and far between. We didn't go out much. The only time that I remember ever going out as a family was on Sunday. And do y'all remember that place? Well, it had Piccadilly, and down south we had a restaurant called Morrison's. And you got in the line. And when you got in the line, you went through the line and picked out anything you wanted to. They had women behind the counter to serve you. And so you had this big old plate, and they would come and take 2 garlic cloves. But mine are kind of little, so I'm going to use 3. Anytime you want to change the recipe, change it. Anyway, we would go on Sunday after church, and you know, have you ever heard that old saying, your eyes are bigger than your stomach? Well, I mean, everything looks so dadgum good. It did. It looked really good. And it's like you thought, well, heck, I'm going to get that. You always, oh, the desserts look so good, you get that. And anyway, that was a fun time. But I don't ever remember going out with my parents to any kind of, like a hamburger joint or anything like that. And my mother never stopped in at a fast food place and got supper and brought it home to us. She never did that. She had something good for us to eat. And I do the same thing. When Dallas and Hannah were little kids, we had a little grocery store / filling station. It was just a filling station with a few things in it. Down the road from us, it was called Heath Grocery. And so on Fridays, after school, and I taught, so they rode home with me because we were all in the same school lots of the times. On Friday, I'd say, okay, y'all, I'm going to stop at Heath Grocery and you can get you a Friday snack. You can get your Friday snack. Whatever you want in that store, you get it. You can get one thing. So they would go in, I'd be sitting in the car waiting on them. I didn't even get out. And those two sweet children of mine, God love them, would go in that store. Where's that little metal thing that goes on this? I just used it the other day. Now I lost it again. Let me find it. Found it. It was still in the drawer. I took this out and didn't take the other part. But anyway, I've enjoyed this little thing. If I can push that up. I'm going to learn how to use this one day. Let's push it into our mixture over here. Let's see if I can do it, y'all. This is the craziest thing. Let me see if I can do it. I guess I'm going to have to cut it up a little bit to put it in there because this clove is so big. They would go in that store and here's what they would come out with. A can of SpaghettiOs or a can of Raviolios. That's what they got. And the reason they got that is because they never got it at home. That was a real treat for them. A real treat. There we go. I got it in there. And it's all little too. But God love them. They looked forward to Fridays. They looked forward to getting those Raviolios. What kids do you know that would get those? Some of them, that's all they have in their home is Raviolios and SpaghettiOs and this O's and that O's. They think that's a real meal. My children thought it was a snack. All right, y'all. We're cooking that up. I'm going to turn it up a little higher. It's getting nice and brown. You don't want to get your meat hard, y'all. Don't get your meat hard. Let it be soft so that the lasagna will be good and soft, okay? Our tea has steeped for 9 minutes. So I'm ready to do it up. Y'all can see how dark it is. If y'all hadn't tried it before, it's really super good. It's really good tea. See how dark? One good thing about this tea is this. If you've got somebody that comes into your house just unexpectedly, oh, and I've got 4 cups of ice in there too. I meant to tell you that part. You put it over ice. And then you fill your pitcher up with water, which mine is a gallon. Each little bag makes 1 gallon of tea. But anyway, y'all, if you have somebody that comes in unexpectedly, it doesn't take but 9 minutes to make your tea. Well, maybe 10. 2 for the water to boil or to get hot. You don't put it in boiling water. Just put it in hot water. Just about to a boil. And you people that like sugar in yours, you're going to put your sugar in a little bit later. When you're right as soon as you get your tea in there, go ahead and put your sugar in it. It doesn't come with sugar. It's not sweet. So actually what I'm drinking today is decaffeinated, unsweetened tea. Cheers to you. My daddy used to do this all the time. My mother would get on to him. All right, y'all. It's time to, our noodles aren't quite done yet, but this meat is done, so I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to drain it in a colander, and I'm not going to let it go down my sink. Okay, now we're going to add things to our meat mixture. We're going to add this is a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. It's a little more than the recipe calls for. They said use a small can on here, but you know what? When I did the recipe, I realized that I could use more tomatoes if I wanted to. And so, anyway, I did. 2 cans of tomato sauce, because I'm going to let mine cook a long time. There's tomato sauce. Tomato sauce. So if you just want to go by the recipe and do the small can, do it. Because, I mean, I'm a big tomato fan. And I'm going to let it cook longer so that it cooks out. All right, now we're going to put in our spices. You need a tablespoon, for sure. You need a tablespoon of garlic powder, not salt. A tablespoon of garlic powder. Tablespoon of black pepper. And you know we didn't salt our meat or anything, so we're fixed to do that. A tablespoon of black pepper. Come on out, fella. There we go. Tablespoon of black pepper. And it's a tablespoon of salt because we haven't put any salt in it yet. But I'm going to put a scant one. And the reason being that sometimes your tomato salts that you buy in the grocery store is loaded with salt. So I'm not putting a level with the salt. You can do that later if you would like to. Now here's 2 that's really important for your taste, for it to taste good. And it's Italian. This is dried Italian seasoning. It just has Italian. That's all it says on it. And I put in a full thing of that. 1 tablespoon. And a full thing of oregano. I use these a lot. The Italian and the oregano. Because I like them on bread and all kinds of dishes. So put that in. Now I'm going to stir it around. I'm going to turn it down. And I'm going to let this cook and do in there for about an hour. And some of this liquid in there from those tomatoes is going to come out. All right, so I'm going to just do like that. I'm kind of chopping my tomatoes up just a little bit in kind of hunks. And we're going to let that cook in there for 1 hour. And I'm going to let it cook on low medium. I just want it to have a nice, I'm going to turn it up till it gets there though. I know that. Come over here and look in my pot so y'all can see. Come on over here. Get over here, darling, and look in that pot. Let me move this out of the way for you. There you go. There you go. There's your mixture. And so when you see a whole tomato like that there, you can just do like this a time or two and cut it up. We're going to let it simmer. When it gets to a hot in there, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer. Our noodles are ready already. So I'm fixing to take those out and I'm going to drain them over here. And then we're going to build it. And I'll show you what cheeses go on it. Our salt has simmered for an hour. Look at it. Does that not look good? Look at that. Thick and beautiful and very tasty. I tasted it to make sure that it didn't need any salt or whatever, and it tastes perfect to me. It was perfect. So we've got to have 3 cups of this grated cheddar cheese, and you know I use that red rind cheese is what I use. And so I'm going to grate this and put it in this measuring cup, and I'm going to be right back with you. Okay, y'all, we're fixed to build our lasagna. I took about a tablespoon of butter, and I am going to grease my pan. You can grease yours with anything you like. You know, I don't know what it is about this pan. Anna gave this to me, I don't know, probably 10 Christmases ago. I've had it for a long time. And nothing ever sticks to it. But it's just regular. It's just a regular pan, so I don't really know what's going on. What I did is I kind of arranged my stuff in order. In other words, here's my salts. That's the first thing I'm going to put in. Then I'm going to put in my noodles. Then I'm going to put in my mozzarella cheese slices. Then I'm going to put in my cottage cheese, or either this. I'll have to reread it. And then my sharp cheese. And I just keep layering and layering. And we know that we're going to have 3 layers because, you know, we said that to start. In the first layer, we're going to put a little bit more of the salts than any of the other layers. The recipe calls for 2½ cups of the salts to make sure. So I'm going to do 1 and 2.5. And I'm going to spread that all over the bottom of my pan to make sure that it's good and covered. And can y'all see? Okay, going like that. That gets us started. Now remember I said 3 noodles on each one. So here they are. Here's one, and you just lay it down flat like that. And look, it comes to the end of mine. See there? All right, let's get another one. This one tore up, but that's all right. We'll put it down, and then put the other little piece that it tore off of it right next to it, like that. Then we're going to take another noodle. And what I did on my noodles, once I cooked them, I ran cold water over them. And here's my other noodle. So we've got that much done, okay? Now take you another scoop of your salt, stir it around as you go. Kind of dibble that around there on it. Spread it around. Woo! Doesn't that look good? All right, now we're going to take our mozzarella cheese. It calls for 3 packages with 8 in each pack. This mozzarella cheese had 10 in each pack, so I only bought 2 packs. And so you pull your cheese off like that and layer it on your, that would be the next layer. Kids would like to do this too. They would have fun building this thing. Like that. Now we're going to take 2 more. See how it fits in there real good. All right. There we go. Now let's make sure we're layering what comes next, okay? So I'm going to take my recipe book and I'm going to see my next layer. I should remember all this stuff, but I don't. I have to look back sometimes. Okay, we got our noodles and we got our salts, mozzarella cheese. Now we're going to put half of the cottage cheese. And then we're going to do 1/3 of the cheddar. So what we've got right here is we've got a 24-ounce thing of cottage cheese. I'm going to put a third of it on here. On top of that cheese that's already on there. I'm going to do the cottage cheese. I'm going to put 1/3 of it. All right, I'm going to see. And I'm not measuring this out to make sure it's exactly 1/3. I'm just not doing it. But it gives you an idea kind of how much you're supposed to use. You want to make sure that everybody gets some, so spread it out so that when they cut their square out of here, they're going to get it. All right, there's that. Now we're going to take our sharp cheese and we're going to use 1/3 of this. You know, we got 3 cups in there. So I'm going to put this all over it. Okay. Now we're going to take and go back with our noodles. I mean, with our salts. So I'm going to take the salts, put it over there. And see, my tomatoes cooked up in here really super good. Take the back of your ladle and spread it around. Don't just clump it somewhere. And make sure that you get to the edges. Now, I am real sensitive about that. I have seen people cook, and it called for pecans on top. And most of them were right in the middle of the pan. Spread it out so everybody gets some, y'all. All right, let's go with our noodles again. Here we're going to do, I think, let me make sure. Let me see. All right, after we put on that, you're just going to layer it in the same way that you layer the others. So there's 1 noodle, 2 noodles, and our 3rd noodle, which some of it came off the side of it, but it fits perfectly. So what came next? A little bit of this, didn't it? Just a little bit. On that one, we're just kind of wetting it right there. Now comes our cottage cheese. It's all going to go in the same mouth. So we want 1/3 of this. We'll save that for the last. Spread it around. I feel like I'm icing a cake. But my mother never made homemade lasagna. But there was a lady that lived down the street from us that she was Italian. And she made it, and I never will forget. They invited us to come to their house for supper. Does this go? No, this. For supper one night. And all of the Italian food has garlic in it. I mean, it just does. That's what they do. And so, anyway, I ate a bunch. And that was when George was in the Marines, and I didn't know he was going to be home exactly that time. And I had a garlic breath for sure. And I was living with Mother and Daddy because George was gone. Don't let me get mixed up, y'all. Did we put our this on there? I don't think we did. I got to talking and I forgot it. We're going to put it on now. Anyway, so I go to bed that night. And in the middle of the night, I hear somebody knocking at the door. And Mother did too, but she said I didn't get up because I figured it was George coming home from the service. And I went to that door and I had on an old ragged t-shirt. And I had on rollers in my hair. And I had a garlic breath. But do you think he minded? Why, no, he did not. He was just as happy to be with me as a pig to sunshine. He grabbed me and we went to bed. And I guess Mother and Daddy just laughed because they knew I was so glad for him to be home from the service. It was almost Christmas time. Almost Christmas time. And I was teaching at the time, teaching second graders at Crestmont Elementary School in Northport, Alabama. All right, y'all. It is time to put on our other noodles. We should have 3 more left. I actually cooked 12. Y'all don't cook 12 like me. The recipe says 3 on each layer. And what I did is I thought, well, but they spread out. You see, you don't need but 9 noodles. So if you buy that pack of noodles, you're going to have some left over that you could do something else with. This is our last layer right here. And it's going to turn out perfectly well. We're going to cook this for from 30 to 45 minutes. Everything in it is actually done. So all you're really doing is you are, get all of it out. We don't want to waste any, do we? All you're doing is getting it hot and bubbly and melting that cheese in it. Now, you could put this in the refrigerator like this and cook it the next day, but I'm telling you, get it out several hours before you're going to cook it because it'll be cool. You got to do that, y'all. All right, let's use the rest of our cottage cheese. Let's see what's the last thing to go on. I know it's the Parmesan. Let me read it real quick and see the third mozzarella, cheddar, cheese, noodle remaining cheddar. All right, it's got to end with the remaining cheddar and the Parmesan cheese. So we're going we got to do this first. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. All right, so if your cheese has 10 in a pack, then you only need 2 packs. I'm gonna take these 2 right here and split them in half for this little side pocket right here to make sure that that person gets some good old cheese on theirs. I'm gonna use it all. I'll just put it somewhere so everybody gets it. I'm gonna make a little green salad to go with this. This is gonna be our lunch. All right, cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. Some people hate it. I've always loved it. It's really high in protein, I know that. Okay, spread that out. And then we're going to end it with our cheddar cheese that we grated up. And we're going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top out of that can like you do spaghetti, okay? We're not going to cover it. We're going to do it on 350 because we want it to be low, real low, and cook in there. Here's the last of our little cheese, okay? Let me fluff it up a little bit. And when it gets really super hot and bubbly, it's done, which will be about 35 or 40 minutes. You watch your oven. Some of y'all have got those ovens that are convection ovens, and they don't cook like my electric oven. And some of y'all have gas stoves, and they don't cook like mine either. Y'all gonna have to learn to peek. Now, you've got to learn to do that. Peek in there and see what it's doing. My goodness, you've got eyes. You've got a smeller. And there we go. It's going to be good, y'all. It's going to be good, y'all. So, we're going to have that, and we're going to get our little salad made, and we're going to have lunch ready. Right now, it's 9:30. And so we'll probably eat about 11, 11:30, something like that. I'm going to pop it in my oven. And I may have to show you what it looks like later, because when we get to eating, you know how that is. But I'll try. If Hannah and Banks come over today, I will try to let you see how it looks when we on our plate. So I'll be back in a little while, maybe. Love you. Bye-bye. Sorry, I forgot my Parmesan cheese. Glory, why didn't y'all tell me? You're sitting in there not saying a word to me. Sprinkle it down with Parmesan cheese. Then we're going to put it in the oven. And what I like to do, too, is to put this container of Parmesan cheese on the table where we're eating, and let some people put some more on it if they want to, okay? All right, now I'm done. I just had to cut a piece of the lasagna and show you what it looks like, the layers. We had it for lunch. It was delicious. So you could kind of see how the noodles look and the cheese melted. It was so good, y'all. I know you'll love it.